Learning how to breathe in the swim. The Sinkdown is a drill that I use with all new swimmers, and it's the very first thing we do. What I have athletes do is they're just standing next to the wall, and all they're going to do is breathe in, and then they're going to exhale out. So just a big sigh, and what it's going to do is it's going to lower them to the bottom of the pool, and you're going to see bubbles coming out of their nose and even their mouth. And it sinks them down. They stay there for as long as they can, just being comfortable with the water, and then when they run out of oxygen, they come back up. The next step after you get familiar with the Sinkdown is doing a Sinkdown where you're timing it with your actual breath when you're swimming. So if you're swimming and breathing every other stroke, it would literally be a timing of breathe and then stroke. And stroke is when your head is down in the water. So breathe, stroke. And so you want to do a Sinkdown on that same rhythm. So you'll go down and you'll exhale out, and then you'll come up for a breath. Exhale out, come up for a breath, and then immediately I would have the athlete push off the wall and go into that rhythm as they're swimming, because a big part of learning how to breathe as you swim is just getting into a really good rhythm with it and staying relaxed. After the athlete knows how to breathe and does that in a rhythm, then we have them learn how to keep their body on the surface and do so while kicking. So I have athletes hold onto the wall, and what they will do is they will put their head in the water, looking usually straight down as they're exhaling and blowing bubbles through their nose and mouth. And then from there, they're trying to have a straight line with their body on the surface. And so we tell them, belly button to the spine, and you're kicking with legs straight, and you want to see your hips and your butt coming outside of the water surface. And so just a straight line from kicking on the wall. And every time they need to breathe, they just look up, they breathe, take their time with it, and then go back down, blow out bubbles, all while just holding onto the wall and getting a good kicking rhythm going. You've done your Sinkdowns, you're now kicking off the wall, is to simply use a kickboard. And so I do have athletes use fins and use a kickboard, and what they're doing is they're holding the kickboard with arms straight out so that they have space to put their head in the water and practice their breathing, practice their exhaling out as they're kicking, and they're going to kick across the pool with the kickboard and fins, just getting their breathing rhythm down. Now when it's time to breathe, all I do is I have them look up to breathe, and what happens is they actually sink in the back, and so now it's up to them to figure out how to bring themselves back to the surface, and it starts with the head. So putting the head back in, exhaling out, pulling that belly button to the spine, squeezing your glutes, making sure that your legs are straight when you're kicking, and then just getting back into that on the surface body position as they kick across the pool. Having the athlete learn to breathe to their side. So what I have them do is I have them put on their fins, they have their kickboard, they've just learned how to kick, holding their board with straight arm, breathing down, blowing bubbles as their head is down and usually in the water. But instead of looking up to breathe, they're now rolling to the side and breathing to their preferred side. So if it's to the right, they're going to let go with their right hand, and it's going to go next to their side, and they're going to keep the left hand outstretched, and then they're just going to roll to the side, and they're going to have their ear resting on their shoulder as they take a long breath in. When they're ready, they're going to put their arm back on the board and put their head down in the water. They're going to blow bubbles again. So I'm going to have the athlete continue to use their fins, use a kickboard, and as they take their breath to their preferred side, instead of just dropping their arm to their side, I'm actually now going to have them windmill their arm back to the board. And then when they windmill their arm back, hold the board, they're going to just put their head back in a neutral position. They're going to blow bubbles out until all the air is gone, and then they're going to do that again. So turn to the side, arm is going to drop, and from that position, as they're taking a breath, they're going to windmill their arm back around, hold the board, and repeatedly do that on that one side until they're very comfortable with that before we try it on the other side.